All Stop Sports, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Back with another video. We're gonna talk some MMA, specifically the UFC and Ronda Rousey. Now, UFC 207 is actually taking place on a Friday. The UFC knows that New Year's Eve is December 31st, which is Saturday, so they do not want to interfere in anybody's plans, so they moved the event to Friday. I thought that was a good idea, but aside from that, let's talk about a little Ronda Rousey. Now, I saw 78 Sports TV's video, shout out to LDBC, where he was touching on Ronda Rousey and all her antics leading up to UFC 207, and I wanted to give my thoughts. Now, the UFC has allowed this woman to act like a spoiled brat, which has enabled her to feel like she doesn't have any media obligations leading up to 207. She hasn't done any press conferences. She wasn't taking part in the UFC's Embedded, the little series that they do leading up to the events. You won't see her on there. No media attention, no interviews. She says she's on a mission. And that's all fine and dandy. But part of that mission includes her media obligations. But since she's been spoiled her entire UFC career and been told she's the face of the organization, she feels like she don't have to do shit. Now, Dana White recently said that these are the pros, and he criticized Chris Cyborg for not stepping up and fighting when they offered her a fight. And so they gave the fight to somebody else, a championship fight to Holly Holm for the 145-pound title. But here's the only thing that I find interesting in the whole scenario. Didn't the UFC need Ronda Rousey at UFC 200? The biggest pay-per-view event supposedly for the company. She didn't fight. Didn't the UFC need her for 205 when they debuted in New York? She didn't fight. So if you ask me, it looks like the UFC enables Ronda Rousey to do whatever the hell she wants. Win, lose, or draw. Even Conor McGregor, I think he's the face of the UFC. If he doesn't show up to a media event, that's why they did not allow him to fight at 200. But they let Ronda Rousey get away with literally murder. It's complete bullshit. And all the Ronda Rousey fans out there, how can you defend this? Because honestly, if you ask me, she's not what a champion should act like. At all. I just had to give my thoughts on this. Honestly, I hope she takes an L. She just has an attitude that does not deserve to be a champion, like 7-8 said. I just wanted to give my brief thoughts on this. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. I'll get some post-fight reactions, predictions to a few events. But I just had to touch on this nonsense, that this childish behavior that Ronda Rousey is allowed to get away with. All Stop Sports, we out.